Hello, my name is Michelle, and this is Full Bottle Worthy. Today, I'm going to be talking about my all-time favorite gourmands. I have around 20 for you. If that sounds good, please stay tuned. First, we have Xerjoff's Italica. This is a gorgeous almond and saffron gourmand. It is so beautiful. When I first smelled it, I couldn't get past the saffron note. It took me a little bit to love the scent. So for me, I would say maybe on the fourth or fifth wear is when I fell in love with it and I decided I wanted a bottle. There is a denseness to this fragrance, and it is just so sweet and almondy and complex, and it's unlike any other almond fragrance I've ever smelled. Again, this is Italica. Next, we have Love and Crime by Idolo. This is my preferred citric vanilla. Now, there's many on the market. This is the one that I like. I believe up at the top there is a lemon or a mandarin orange. I can't quite remember. But there is also vanilla, of course, a little bit of cocoa, a little bit of anise. But to me, what it smells like is a lemon cake with a little bit of cocoa just sprinkled on top. It is absolutely gorgeous, and the longevity and the projection are great on this. I get 8 to 10 hours with a moderate to strong projection. Again, this is Ex Idolo's Love and Crime. Next, I have Jorum Studios Pentimento. This is a beautiful carob and hazelnut composition. And if you're not familiar with carob, it used to be something readily used for chocolate. So it's really a chocolate hazelnut composition. It is an extrait de parfum concentration, so it lasts 12, 14 hours on my skin. It does stay a little bit closer to the skin, but there is projection with this formula. I absolutely love this perfume. I've never smelled a better Nutella, let's call it a Nutella fragrance. There's many on the market, but to me, I think this is the best one. Again, this is Jorum Studios Pentimento. Next, we have Fragrance de Bois Minuit Demi. This is a gorgeous unisex offering. It has chocolate, it has caramel, it has pimento up at the top, so it gives a little bit of spiciness. It has some coffee in it. It is great for a night out. Men, women, everybody can wear it. The longer it sits, I think the juice is going to intensify. This is a new bottle for me, but my sample is very old and it's a beautiful golden color. So I know this is going to darken up. Anyhow, if you're not familiar with this, this is a gorgeous gourmand, and I'm so excited that I have it a part of my collection now. Again, this is Minuit Demi by Fragrance de Bois. Next, we have Jousset's Accident à la Vanille. There have been many flankers to this fragrance, but this one is the original. And to me, this smells like a beautiful vanilla shortbread cookie. It's an absolutely gorgeous gourmand. There's a powderiness to it. There's an oomph to it. There's a weight to it. Definitely, I would spray twice, 3 times tops. My juice is incredibly strong. I don't know if the newer bottles are as intense as mine, but mine is very strong, and I can definitely choke myself out if I get too happy with the trigger on this one. Again, this is Accident à la Vanille by Jousset Parfum. Next, we have Ikiryo's Blood Cherry Cordial. This smells like a photorealistic cherry cordial. If you're not familiar with them, in the States, they tend to come in a box of 12. They have a dark chocolate on the outside, a candied cherry in the middle, a little bit of a white cream, vanilla cream on the inside, as well as sort of like a boozy syrup. And that is what this smells like. It is absolutely gorgeous. The cherry is realistic. The chocolate is dark. It lasts 10 hours on my skin with a good projection. I love this fragrance. It's hard to say if it's my favorite, but it's definitely in the top 2 from the House of Ikiryo. Again, this is Blood Cherry Cordial. Next, I have God Bless Cola by Versatile Paris. This is such a fun fragrance. It smells like Coca-Cola. And when you put it on, because it is an oil fragrance, you need to massage it into your skin, and it is going to stay closer to your skin. But it is a lovely sweet smell, and the whole length of the wear, you're going to smell the cola note. However, in the background, in the opening, you're going to smell sort of a buttery popcorn note that is just so fun and so playful. This just reminds me of a day at the movies. Again, this is God Bless Cola. Next, we have Panettone. And this is photorealistic. It tastes exactly like the Italian holiday bread. There are notes of candied orange and immortelle. And immortelle is what gives this composition its bready-like quality. This fragrance is just so fun to wear in the festive season. So I really like to pull it out in November and December. It is so photorealistic, and I just love wearing it. I find it lasts 8 hours on my skin with a strong projection at first, and then it goes down to an arm's length as it wears. It is more citrusy up at the top, and then that kind of subsides a little bit as it wears and dries down. Again, this is Panettone. Next, we have We Plus by Kyse. This is a s'mores fragrance, and I venture to say it is photorealistic. You can smell the chocolate, you can smell the graham cracker, you can smell the marshmallow. I would say the graham cracker is mostly present in the opening and sort of fades in the dry down. It more fades down to a chocolatey with a little bit of a marshmallow in the background. It lasts 6 to 7 hours on my skin with a moderate to strong projection. Again, this is We Plus by Kyse. Next, we have Lira by Xerjoff. And this is a gorgeous caramel with a blood orange up at the top and a little bit of licorice, very, very much in the background. For me, the predominant note here is caramel, and the fragrance does stay closer to the skin, but I find I get about 6 hours wear out of this. Again, this is Lira by Xerjoff. Next, by L'Artisan Noir Exquise. And this is such a beautiful gourmand. It is so elegant and refined. The notes here are chestnut and maple syrup. Those are the dominant notes for me in this composition. It is so elegantly done, and it wears closer to the skin. I would say this is going to last about 6 hours on your skin. I find this composition to be a unisex wear. I think both men and women or anybody could enjoy this. Again, this is Noir Exquis. Next, I have Shagof Oud by Swiss Arabian. This is meant to be a clone of BDK's Velvet Tonka. I have made a video comparing the two. I will link that down below. To me, this smells like marzipan. That's it. It's as dense as marzipan. It's as almondy as marzipan. It's as sweet as marzipan. This lasts about 10 hours on my skin with a moderate to strong projection. I love this fragrance. Again, this is Shagof Oud Tonka by Swiss Arabian. Next, we have Insolence by Guerlain. This is the EDP concentration. And to me, this smells like permaviolets, which many Americans are not familiar with this candy. But it's a powdery violet candy, and that is what this smells like to me. I love this fragrance. This was my first love in Guerlain, believe it or not, and it's really grown from there. I find I like to wear this in January. I like to wear this in cold weather. It is just the perfect thing when it's 20 degrees outside. Again, this is Guerlain's Insolence EDP. Next, we have Jovoy's Remember Me. This is a chai latte. So it has black tea, it has ginger, it has frangipani, which creates this milkiness and this creamy texture. This fragrance wears closer to my skin, and I find that it lasts about 6 hours. I tend to like to wear this in the transitional season, so fall and spring. I don't find it really holds up in the heat or in the cold. Again, this is Remember Me by Jovoy. Next, I have Morph's Disumano. This is a gorgeous toasted coconut with caramel. It is a linear wear and it is very long lasting. It lasts at least 10 hours on my skin and it is very potent. I tend to only spray it 2 to 3 times when I wear it. I find it to be a little bit similar to Bianco Latte if you just added some coconut and took out some vanilla. So if you're a Bianco Latte fan, I think that you would really like this if you like coconut as well. Again, this is Morph's Disumano. Next, we have La Belle by Jean-Paul Gaultier. To me, this smells like a poached pear. It is a perfectly poached pear. It is poached in a simple syrup. It is just perfectly sweet and perfectly cooked. It's not mushy. It still has a little bit of firmness to it. It's a green pear to me. I love this fragrance for colder days as well as a night out. Again, this is Jean-Paul Gaultier's La Belle. Next, we have Cocoa Violet by Mancera. This is such a beautiful scent. It is not mass appealing. So if what I explained sounds intriguing to you, I would definitely get a sample. The main notes for me are hazelnut, chocolate, and violet. And when I tried the sample, it wasn't as macerated as when I purchased the bottle. The notes really hadn't married quite yet. And I felt it was a bit disjointed. However, when I saw this come up on Mercari for a good price, I thought, oh, I'll buy it. And I got the bottle and I was so pleasantly surprised because it had macerated so well. And those 3 notes had blended together so beautifully. This is such an interesting scent, unlike anything I have ever smelled. Again, this is Cocoa Violet by Mancera. And finally, I have Fève Gourmand by Guerlain. This is one of the most elegant, refined gourmands on the market. It is chocolate, it is rose, it is a little bit spicy, it's a little bit boozy. It wears closer to the skin, but it is so expertly blended. And I've only worn it a few times because it is just so sophisticated that there's so few occasions I find warrant this fragrance. But I do actually get compliments on it when people hug me. Again, this is Fève Gourmand by Guerlain. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear in the comments what your favorite gourmands are, or if some of your favorite gourmands were on my list. Please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to continue to see more content like this. Until next time, goodbye.